The 9 times I will change the world. Copyright disclaimer. We will begin this prophecy entitled The 9 times I will change the world. This prophecy was given to Enrique Castillo Rincón. I'm gonna read the whole prophecy. Please put attention because apparently we are at the 7th time and we're very close to the 8th time, which is the war and the cataclysm. So please pay attention. Very close attention because we are right now in the time of confusions. A lot of people not gonna believe what I'm about to read, but use your discernment and check every step of the way so you can make your own conclusions. This prophecy called The 9 times that will change the world is a prophecy given to Enrique Castillo Rincón from extraterrestrials from the Pleiades. Information received by Enrique Castillo Rincón in the highlands of the Andes between January 29 and 31st, 1979. Evolutionary synthesis of the geologic, spiritual, and terrestrial changes. The sage will not find the answer. The wise will know the reason. The prophecy. Dauntless humanity shall watch powerless to do anything. The world's mercy organizations and the men of goodwill should be tied up. The cries and lamentations will not reach the ears of the governments. Women and men should no longer wear jewelry, necklaces, rings or earrings. Speculation, scarcity, and corruption shall be the order of the day. The families of goodwill and their children shall pray in silence. Their religions stagger, only the faith of the just maintains them. Violence, strikes, affronts, robberies, assaults, kidnapping and murders, hunger and disease, swollen rivers, landslides, driving rain, frost burning, heat and sun, and cold as never felt before. Accidents will rise because of careless and short-sightedness. New diseases will appear and attack like plague throughout the world. Without hope for a solution, they just pray and wait. The flapping of wings. That will bring redemption from the skies getting close. The bloodthirsty rises. Be careful. He will be giving blood to drink and will get drunk. He will make his followers and they should obey him. The time will be. The warrior's steps shall leave nothing behind. The time for war has arrived because there is no other way. Men blindly have sought it, and the beast wakes up. Great destruction follows the step of the above name. The earth will be barren and empty. The just keep praying. They survive just because of their faith and hope. These are the days of terror. Many just and innocent shall perish, but they shall not bend in front of the beast. Others will weaken and bend. War has arrived with its deadly load. New destructive methods will be tested, which will destroy the land with its fruits, and this will groan in pain. Men shall fall like a straw that the wind carries away, burned by fire. They shall groan and their relief shall be dead. From the sky shall fall the great tribulation, clothed in disease, wounding the skin and filling it with ulcers, dying without hope. The murderers have succeeded. The stench and rot chokes up and pollutes the air. The terrible plague shall ride the clouds and the winds, planting its poison on animals and fields. The earth trembles and cries, erratic, uncertain, like a drunkard. The new lands emerge. Continents sink forever, those that were polluted by men. The seas rise like a gigantic arms to punish the corrupt cities and swallow them in minutes. The works of men, his pride, his arrogance, shall be buried. The severity of volcanic eruptions and the unchained forces of nature demolish the earth. Man trembles and cries, begs for pardon, but it's too late. The fury of the elements delivers his rewards to the guilty. The guilty is crushed with his assistance. Earth recovers its life. The sun shines weakly upon the new vegetation. Seeds arrive in a new dawn. The great instigator has died forever. Purification has completed his task. New lands are flowed, this time with new flowers. Birds try their songs, place the majestic of the new day. The survivors appear, the remnants are coming. The great march begins to populate the new lands. The prophecy has been fulfilled. The meek and the just inherit the earth. The children shall grow up in the truth, and the crash shall end. The new leaders renovate and pure emerge. Listen, listen, and hear. The new terrestrial era has just begun. The cosmic calendars reach the fourth era, the terrestrial 2023. The changes, the drastic changes that will modify the face of the earth and create new continental platforms have already started. These geological changes will be united to a new spiritual physiognomy. Man did not answer the call. Instead, he trespassed the laws, violated the eternal agreement. The consequence is such that man's pride will be consumed into dust. These alterations shall occur during this generation, during the last year of the century, filling the poor and the powerful, the guilty and the innocent, children and oldsters, men and women. The last give authority to those who govern the earth from above to carry out such purification. Nevertheless, I tell you, the warnings were many. Each time it was required to tell man what would happen if he didn't change his behavior. But he was deaf, disobeyed, increased in pride, haughtiness, and left the correct path, despising the wise advice from spirits of conscience. Therefore, weeping and pain shall inflame the nations. There will be no let up. The warnings were given. It is the time. The earth will be reborn, fulfilling his great objective for the just and the peacemakers. The great law has spoken, and the truth will shine in this dawn with those who earned the right to live. A world full of peace and work. I announce to you a world of love and hope. This is how they begin. You ought to know my dear friend Enrique, that great changes will take place on your planet, which will mark the way for the new evolutionary era that will affect all the inhabitants without exception. To some, for the benefit and spiritual elevation, and to the great majority for the ruin and destruction. Listen with attention, because depending on how they accept and assimilate this prophecy, they will be able to feel and see the right moment for their accomplishment. Above all, we tell you with great happiness and hope that after the fulfillment of all announced events, there will come a time of full peace and justice, a time of harvest for the peaceful, of true love and understanding among men, a future when you shall live in communion with the values of the Spirit, which shall overflow as fountain for all, because the promise of the Holy Spirit will have been accomplished. Those will be days of joy. Children will be raised in true teachings, and knowledge will tear its bindings, because those who have earned the right to live in such of glorious epoch shall receive the necessary wisdom to understand finally the true reason of life, and should know the meaning of death. The veils shall be drawn open to the chosen ones, and they will know in full the law of reincarnation and resurrection. The supreme plan of life will be known, and the reason for the diseases that have plagued men. The freedom of conscience will be one of the wonderful fruits that they should taste. Initiation. The first time. The two great wars fought before 1946 are the prelude of the first warnings and great announced signals. If man corrected his errors, the earth will grow green again and reward its dwellers with much abundance. 7 years of grace are given, ending in October 1952. The so-called period of the Cold War, the time for the correction of errors. But the voice is not answered. The wars come back, and men continue strong. Blindness invades the fields of labor. Instead of exalting the human spirit, the new discoveries are used for terrorizing. It is time of the makers of death. Those of the chosen people recover their pride and their land. The Holy Land goes to its legitimate owners. It's time for apparent peace. Time of reckoning begins for the preparation of a spiritual era that men shall live. The second time. Wars continue. The space frontiers are enlarged, and new feathers adorn man's pride. Deaths increase, and differences become more acute. The war of vengeance, terror, and death to the innocent appears. Terrorists, bloodthirsty commanders appear, whose flag is death. Widows, orphans, and desolation menaces. Hunger and disease dwell in the nations. It is the great signal of pollution. Nature begins its swift agony. Forests cry, the axe is sharp. The sanguinary fall down, others replace them with increased force. The third time, pacifying voices are heard. The warrior's drum resounds again. Earthquakes and tremors. Earth again sends its anguished complaint. Man is deaf and blind. His eyes are closed. Nature falls ill, and the climates are altered. The success in space exploration causes forgetting of the fundamental. The angel of death makes himself strong and whispers to the ear of men, promising power. Death disguises herself as gentleman. Attack those who seek justice and peace. She wears a sword. The signal ones arrive in the guise of children. The gatherers of good fruit are prepared. Announcers of the world have arrived. The moral and spiritual decline of the world begins. The fourth time. The other force manifests itself with power. In its delirium will drag many innocent towards error and death. The anomalies in the weather increase. The great rains, floods, droughts, overflowing of rivers, loss of crops. The birds lose their bearings. The winds change. The voice returns, dressed as death. It is another warning. The earth trembles. Her cry is not heard. Climates follow the altered path. Shortage of raw materials and signs of war famine. Calls are made, but not heard. The initial warnings are given, and nobody pays attention. The world lives in apparent wealth. It is the time of the crafty attack, and they will fall vanquished once more. People sing and dance and drink wine. In the great mansion they speak of peace, but it's a dove with a leading beak. There are signals in the sky, flying clouds land. The princes of the signs appear. They bring banners and leave their announcement. They are the lords of yesterday, the lords of peace and joy. The fifth time, the attack continues mercilessly. The nations are in convulsions. They speak of peace. There are rumors of war. There is war. The merciless and mean attack continues. Innocents fall. Men do not understand. They don't want to understand. Pride blinds them, and it is the time of darkness. The just are afraid. The peacemakers have no voice. Violence increases. Terrorism is legal. Kidnapping is an instrument of indignity. Hate shows its ugly face. Corruption dwells on desks and executive chairs. The white powder is a weapon. The grass a false illusion. The insanity of the children worries the parents. Prostitution opens its doors. Homosexuality is almost legal. The politicians of the other force are the great gentlemen. Shame has been lost, and the dignity of man sleeps in a dark room. Promises and lies are every day's food. The gold rises, the gold falls. The materialistic society decline increases. Floods continue ruining crops. Earth doesn't let up. Earthquakes, tremors, hurricanes and constant changes in climate hurt men. Revolts and political turmoil, murders and yellings, religious divisions take place, loss of faith. The behavior of all religions should deny God. Adoration is bestowed upon money. The God-fearing wait and see. Robbery, assault, kidnapping, and murder become a commonplace. All shall fear their neighbor. Who was honest and worthy, now is dishonest and unworthy. Violations, affront, and abuse increase. All blame each other. All fear. No one accuses. The law agents are also corrupted. The government agents shall not do anything, afraid to lose their privileges. The military uniforms shall lose their respectability, and crime shall be their decoration. It is the fifth time, with its terrifying basements. The mutants are here. The sixth time, the collapse precipitates. Satan orders the events to step forward. The acceleration of climate changes is noticeable. The epoch of the droughts has arrived. The sky shuts up. All seek redeeming answers, but the skies stay shut. The rivers overflow, and mud avalanches bury homes and children. Domestic animals perish. The days of hunger begin. The days shorten. Space achievements continue, and new diseases appear. The days of the great tribulations for Earth arrive. Terrorism is at its height. The politicians play cards. It is the time of slander and lie. It's all play of words. The time of the honest and just man is gone. It is the time of the dishonest, the crook, and the time of the lie. The honest worker is blamed for the evil. The powerful believe that is the time for additional profits. The banker, the industrialist, the businessman, the swindler, blackmail, and corruption are raised to glorious status. Already, we can hear the steps of the great manipulator. It is his crop and his time. It becomes notorious, the political force of an organization that expects to rule the world. Genetic experiments are made known, which will degenerate into terrible evil. The vivifier force appears, the foundation of man, the immutable energy. The chosen ones carry it. The assault by hunger emerges. The world economy collapses. The first symptom of new diseases attack mercilessly. They have no cure. Only death is the only hope for relief. The volcanoes that sleep in peace now wake up. They open their mouths, are all in accordance. Pollution has broken slowly the spine of the planet. Hates increase, and now the turbulent crowd looks for scapegoats. Industries fall, commerce closes, unemployment increases, information is blocked, solutions proposed are only apparent. The situation worsens, economy cracks. The experts are no experts. The means are illegal. The good ones cooperate. War arrives proudly and sits at the throne of the nations, dominates, and as a plague it stands. No way, the wise were not heard. It is too late. It is the crop of what the dwellers planted, the punishment that the inhabitants look for. Fire comes down. The sphere will drop with its deadly load. Death has wings. The armies are mobilized. The weapons are the lords of hell. The air groans and convulses in death tremors and tremendous agony. The aberrations of climate signal the passage of the great changes. Materialistic humanity plunges into the abyss. They are its last yells. World production decreases because of great rains and tremendous droughts. The ones who can buy land. The wise plant. The planetary changes shall increase. The structure of the earth crumbles. The inner layers move. Her veins are torn. Her blood boils. Their scars open. Oh, you, chiefs of state, ministers, mayors, military and judges, bankers, pressmen, doctors and lawyers, financiers and speculators, loud-voiced dogs, and you, laborer and worker, do not be tempted by the illusionary gold. The cup is full. Be careful. Prophecy has been fulfilled in its first part. The seventh time, the throne has been occupied by death. It spreads and hits countries that before were full of pride and riches. Those of the old tribe and brothers detect throne for now. The great continent is now a graveyard. Italy and France and Spain also. The bastions fall. Alliances are made. The governments very busy with the war. Those of the copper-colored face attack and win also. The bear and the eagle, the shoe and the flower, the shield and the dog, together must win. The great dictator has spoken. The world listens to him. Meanwhile, the foundations of the earth have started to move. Atlas is wounded, deadly wounded. The cities fall. The church staggers. Cities are sunk. The sea boils and its waters revolve. Hunger is now the great winner. The damned, the daily confederation has been created. All the north and the south are in great tribulation. The seed has been winnowed and is in the granary. New shores in the meanwhile have been traced. The capsule is ready. It is numbered and awaits. The vengeful criminal wears a turban. The false prophet succeeds greatly, and people marvel. People's representatives before the law are powerless. Their voice is not valid. In many countries, the established law doesn't act. A single power remains. There are men with much power who act on their own. This will be another terrible mistake. On the other hand, the words of the powerful spread. His peace and declarations and status that he will establish will be accepted. It's only a stratagem. Look at what I tell you. Use your judgment. Do to him. Any of those who carry the inner light shall be butchered in the public square. He is not the signal of the times. He is the butcher of the sweet voice and the pale face, the dark eyes and saintly mien. His miracles are for the seed. His wisdom comes from the black pit. True wisdom is not arrogant, does not cause pain, is no use for vengeance. Look at him walking. Listen to his words. Notice his gestures. Listen careful to his formulations and teaching, and look at his companies. His apparent wisdom takes you to death. His acceptance, a jump into darkness. He, without knowing, is the road with which the world and men will be measured. Be prudent then. During these times, greed shall take you to death. These are the years of confusion and doubt, the years of election and selection. Who traces in humility in the search will find wisdom. Who uses kindness obtains happiness. Who feeds on beauty obtains perfection. Who listens to good teachings learns from the sage and gets knowledge from the old man. Who drinks only from the truth receives the gift from the Spirit. Who gives love and keeps good conduct, his prize is the light of understanding, and never will he be alone. Then be magnanimous when you possess power. Be just when judging. Be fair and not covetous in your business. Learn to forget vengeance, and peace will be granted to you. Be honest and peaceful, men worthy and meek. Renew your spirit, and you will receive grace from heaven. The time has begun for justice to shine. It has never been absent. It was only been hidden, and it shall tear the hypocrites from their pedestals. Meanwhile, the earth cracks, its veins bulge, streams overflow, and riverbeds tear. Just wait. 8 times. New preparations for destruction. Weapons are flying. The false leader has power. The world gives him authorization. The yellow skin the covenant did not respect. Their armies sweep the enemy. The capsule is hurled. Men are consumed. The world is mute. The armies melt like a molten lead. It is the surprise, the feared, lethal weapon. Their flesh shall disintegrate, and before their knees bend, they shall be dead. Those of the brotherly alliance begin to triumph. The condor to the eagle, food he shall give. The lands from the south, sustenance shall send. The signals in the sky shall continue in sight. Insanity is the master of all. Suicides shall increase, and for many will be the only door to peace. The time is arrived for the moon and the sun, their color modify with an unusual eclipse. Great darkness will arrive. The mortal weapons will be hurled. The casualties shall be like grass leaves in the fields. 200 million will be maimed, then destroyed and consumed. The earth heats up, its pain increases, has fever inside. Great cities perspire at 45 and 50 degrees centigrade. The foundations of the earth are disturbed, and it throws up gases and poisonous vermin. The chains breaks into lava. The fire is liquid. The waters take revenge and invade nation by nation. Fire also rains in tongues, streaming from the sky. Meanwhile, hunger keeps harassing. Scenes of terrible drama. The family will live to obtain wheat. Dantesque street spectacles will be seen all over. Terrorism is at its peak and invades the sea and the air. The turban takes vengeance for 45 generations. Madness has taken hold of men with power, and all believe it to be right. It is the avalanche of sunset. It is too late. No one expects a new sunrise. Nevertheless, from affliction emerges the life-giving new light. It barely shines. It is hope. It is the voice of the planter. The lords of the light scatter darkness. The beast is wounded. The beast is wounded. Again, deceit and fallacy. Their powers that deceive, clothed in red, purple. People and countries still listen to them. Behold, their power increases, able for deceiving, and strong in greed. Falsehood is their prayer. The right moment to terrorize and recapture power. It will not last for long. The covenant that will lead the world to the fast Emmanuel is signed. Those who have the light to guide men to the truth make their appearance. The fight is power to power. The spiritualists know it. The impostor is now at the top of the throne. Men have given him their vote and have approved their mandate. He teaches with perfidied false teachings and brings to the world his longed for peace. Is all apparent. The family joy doesn't last for long. The world we know again is a mistake. The unknown ones reincarnated already on earth have now their noble mission. Humankind is perplexed. People fell into deceit and now are not willing to believe. That is really the expected message. The pacifier and the leveler of the road. Those of the old race take care of the flock. They are at several places. They are the lords of peace and wisdom. The great message is revealed in time of war, and contrarily, a new philosophy will invade the world, full of rituals and cajoling verses, and it will be accepted by many. Through threats of the butcher, others will accept it. The new church will end up succumbing. Meanwhile, the earth shifts inside. The volcanoes explode. Cities sink. The ocean attacks with fury, and men have time only to scream. The great wave of tides shall sweep. Mud will bury cities. Other ocean areas will dry up. The waters concentrate and invade other shore cities. The lifelines of the cities burst, looting, together with prayers and cries of desperation, will mark the last moments of destruction. The war cannot go on. There are no men to form a squadron. Whoever can save himself, do it. The rich and avaricious now give away their treasures, and nobody wants them. All has lost its value. Only their lives they want to save. The moment has arrived, written about long ago. The earth has spoken its last word. Babylon is dead. Falsehood and purple fallacy have just died off. The fast church, struck by lightning, has collapsed. The whole earth sways, the clouds darken in sudden change. The sun is hidden, the terrestrial course is broken and aimless. The shafts loosen up, Atlas breaks his knees. The world turns backwards. It is the blast of the final trumpet. The angel sprays his fury, and men perish in the shadows of death. The structures that ashamed the world have come to an end. Ideologies, concepts, and political systems are worn up and buried forever. Authoritarianism and personal power have come to an end. In one day and one night, the schemes of the sky have changed. The survivors abandon their uniforms, and the uniform is changed into civilian clothing. The Preparer is here, has incarnated to deliver the clean knowledge. It is him. He shall speak with the voice of the Spirit, and a new period shall be. The roadway of lasting peace has finally been opened. Freedom has finally been achieved. It is the time of preparation for the one who should come. His promise was sealed, and now is the time for its fulfillment. He is about to arrive. It is him, the signal of the times. In him are fulfilled all the prophecies. Many will see him arriving, but the day, the precise moment, only one knows it. We trust in him. The ninth time. The true spiritual guides are the ones who direct the destiny of humanity. All governments have ceased to exist, and their political leaders are also gone. A newly indicated course shall lead humanity to the true knowledge. The time of weapons has passed away. Man returns with renovated force to the spiritual life that was offered him, to which he never arrived. The birth of new life is celebrated. Men shall be true friends and brothers. Their relationship with God will be their most valued achievement. Today's peace was always your decision. You negated and despised. Now you know the price that never should have been paid. Never again obey it. Walk the way now along this path of understanding, without remorse and without bitterness. The guilty ones have paid for their deeds. The just are reborn again, and their soul is elevated, and their love multiplied. Life has returned. They have found God. The days to come are of great peace and harmony among men. The spiritual guides shall teach with true power and authority, preparing the second arrival, promised by the great avatar of all times. The organization was founded officially the first Thursday of July of 1777. Its purpose is to take possession of the world through a slanted and subtle manipulation. Its headquarters were established between India and Pakistan, and now it has branches in the US, France, England, Italy, Germany, Japan, China, Monaco, Russia, and its arm reaches other key countries of Europe and Africa, Libya, Iran, and Egypt. South America and the Caribbean have been included since 1933. Also, Haiti, Cuba, Nicaragua, Chile, Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina, among others. The time when it will make itself noticed will be between 1986 to 1994. By the year 1992, it is planning to have an army of clones or artificial creations, about 500 to 600, the only ones they can trust to serve the organization called by them of the Great Mutism. These clones will be imposed of government, military, political, religious, student, and workers' organizations. These clones have been created duplicating several terrestrial races to be totally undetectable. They depend on the great super-gifted physics who are the foundation of the organization's power. In addition, no one knows their true leaders. They always act through directed ones, programmed individuals selected from several countries, protecting in this way the real directors of the organization. Their plans are not altered, so their force lies in their anonymity. They also count on outstanding scientists, politicians, military experts, and experts in finances, and on the great religions. Their financial power is inexhaustible. They have already executed great tests at a physical collective level, activating the violence instinct and also the spirit of vocation and fidelity to their leaders. Cases such as Guyana Temple with the Reverend Jim Jones and Charles Manson in California are examples. Physical manipulation at the world level is applied to government heads and politicians, and isolated cases of murderers have removed the major obstacles in the race for domination of the planet. There exists, separate from this planetary conspiracy, the creation of a single, highly developed race to dominate and govern the survivors, enslaving those they consider inferiors. They promote wars to eliminate gradually those not considered suitable for the new thing they plan to implement. These 206 years have been effective proof of physical manipulation. One of their main bases is probably located by entering through the South Pole on an island called Eden 5, from which operations at a physical level are carried out throughout the planet. Many scientists have disappeared. Today, they are working for them. Many others have been seduced with money and power. They don't really know for whom they work. Complete families have fallen. Men weak of mind and weaker spirits have been reached and utilized by these forces. This was the 9 times that will change the world. This video has come into an end. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the comment section below.